Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about And Just Like Crap. Okay, a new episode dropped last night. All right, so let's talk about it here. The show's getting better. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, there's a lot of wasted potential on the show, a lot of wasted plot lines. To be more accurate, okay, there's a lot of they introduce a lot of characters, a lot of storylines that go nowhere. Okay, that we don't like. What's the point of this? Why is this character here? What are they doing? How do they affect the other main characters? Okay, what was the reason that they're there? How does that affect the rest of the? Even if they don't show up again, how does that affect the rest of the show? Okay, what were the consequences of this person being there? You see what I mean? And we get none. We get none of that. Okay, characters come and go; they're just not mentioned again. But yet, so much time if you look at seasons 1 and seasons 2, there was so much time, okay, devoted to characters like Shay and Naya. Okay, they got a lot of screen time. They had their own plots going on. They had their own stories, and for what? It went nowhere. That stuff went absolutely nowhere. Okay, these women, or one woman and one thing. They didn't affect the show at all. Okay, they're forgotten about. They're not mentioned anymore. They're just gone. They're just gone. So why did you waste our time with them? Why were they so important? Can you imagine like a Sex in the City where like the first 2 seasons there was 5 girls? Okay, all of them sitting together talking about the guys that they have sex with, and drinking their Cosmos and eating at that diner, okay, for brunch every day. Okay, and then all of a sudden in the 3rd season, like one of them's gone, and then it's just not mentioned. No one even talks about them. They're just not there. We're just supposed to act like there's been 4 all along. Can you imagine that? Okay, it wouldn't work, would it? Okay, because people would be asking. The fact that it's not there draws attention to it. Okay, and this show is doing that. Okay, this show has drawn attention to all these characters that went nowhere. They went absolutely nowhere. Why? Why would you waste our time with characters and storylines that don't go anywhere, that don't affect the overall narrative? You see what I mean? These people don't know what they're doing. And I can tell you why. Okay, it's pretty obvious. And it's not just this show. Okay, if you really look at TV shows now and movies in general, okay, have you noticed they haven't gotten better? They've gotten worse. Like people are just, like when it comes to streaming, legally, they don't have to report their numbers. Okay, so they don't have to, say, okay, this is how many people watched it. They don't have to do that. It's not like regular TV, which has Nielsen ratings. Because Nielsen ratings, they have to be able to see which shows are being watched so they can know how much to charge advertisers. Okay, so the more shows that are being watched, so the shows with a high viewer count, they get to charge advertisers more money because more eyes are going to be watching your commercial. That's how they make money. Okay, if you have a hit show, okay, you're selling a lot of advertising. You're selling a lot of commercials. That's how shows make money. That's how networks make money. Not so in streaming. Streaming is all dependent on subscriptions. Okay, so if you subscribe to a streaming channel, okay, and you only watch a few shows, it doesn't matter because the streaming channel already made their money. Whether you watch 90 of their shows or whether you only watch 1, they already made their money. Okay, and the downside of streaming is that you have to continue to make new TV shows, new movies. Otherwise, people are going to cancel their streaming subscription. Okay, so you have to constantly keep showing them something new. All right, that's why this show is on the air. That's why HBO Max is on the air, because despite the fact that the show is terrible, okay, there's people out there, mostly old women, who are going to watch a Sex and the City a sequel series, okay, because they love the original so much. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. There's Carrie Bradshaw, there's Miranda Hobbs, there's Charlotte York. They're all there. Oh, not all of them. Samantha's not there. Okay, which is good. At least she didn't destroy her character. So they're going to watch it no matter what. Okay. Now this show is completely different from Sex and the City. Okay, it's not even anywhere in the same league. Okay, and Sex and the City, I loved Sex and the City. I thought it was a great show. Obviously, I reviewed every episode. It's on this channel. But even I knew it wasn't realistic. Okay, there was a lot of bad things about Sex and the City, and the biggest one, which I always complained about if you watch my old videos when I reviewed the episodes, was they did not depict the men correctly. Okay, they didn't depict the men correctly. Okay, all the men were they didn't act like real men. They're all weirdos. They're all insecure. Okay, they're all or they're evil or they're egotistical, whatever. Okay, you never had like any like men acting like real men. It was always the worst examples of men were the guys that these women dated. Okay, which is not realistic. Of course, they're not the worst examples of women. No, they're perfect the way they are. It's the men that are messed up. You see what I mean? Okay, that was Sex in the City, and I never agreed with that. I always hated that part of the show, but the show was entertaining. It was entertaining. I'll give it that. All right, this show's not even entertaining. It's just bad. Okay, this show they're depicting the men are all depicted as insecure. Okay, as wimps. Okay, the men are constantly seeking validation from the women on this show. The men are always asking the women to be their mommies. Okay, please tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I have a big dick. Tell me it still works. Am I cool? Like that. Okay, they're always doing this crap. Okay, the men are always seeking validation from the women. They're always asking the women, "Oh, do I look good in this? You don't think I'm gaining weight, do you? Do you still think I'm handsome? So shit like that. Okay, this is ridiculous. This is freaking ridiculous. Okay? Let me tell you something, I know most of you guys watching this are ladies, okay? Let me tell you something, ladies, okay? For most of us, okay, even me, I was raised by a single mom, but even me, I know this, okay? Most of us, okay, we know damn well, okay, that, we're not going to spend our lives being told that we're handsome or being told, I mean, some guys will, but that's a small majority. Some guys are just born super good looking and they're going to get complimented all that for the rest of their life, okay? Most guys are not in that category, okay? We grow up, okay, not really getting validation, okay? Definitely not from other boys, okay? So we don't expect it. We don't expect it, okay? Like even me, okay? I mean, at my age, okay? I'm an older guy, all right? And the other day, this woman came up to me. This was like a couple days ago. This woman came up to me, and she told me, "Wow, you're gorgeous." And I was like, "Huh?" I said, "Thank you," whatever. It was very nice, okay? And I was very pleasantly surprised, and I did appreciate. I was very flattered. I was like, "Wow, this younger woman who's like in her late 20s, early 30s, told me I was gorgeous. Wow, thank you." You know why? Because I don't get that every day, okay? Because I've spent most of my life not getting told that. So if someone tells that to me, it's a big deal, okay? It's a big deal because it doesn't really happen that often. It doesn't happen that often for most men, to be honest with you. It really doesn't, okay? But that's fine. It's fine for us because we grow up, okay, we learn from people around us, from other men mostly, that you're not going to be told that your whole life, okay? And you don't need to be told that, okay? You don't need to be told that, okay? You have to produce something, okay? You have to do something with your life in order to get people to respect you. You're not born that way. The fact that you're born doesn't mean crap. Everyone is born, okay? What are you going to do with your life that's going to give you respect? Now, some people, a small percentage of people are born high value. They're born into a wealthy family. They're born super good looking, like I told you, okay? Or like children of movie stars or stuff, or, like children of CEOs of corporations, okay? They're just born with a silver spoon in their mouth, okay? Or they're just born, both their parents were actors, so of course their kid is going to be super good looking too, blah, blah, blah. Okay, some people are born that way, but the majority of us are not, so we don't expect it. You see what I mean? We don't expect it. Okay, so for me, it was very pleasant. I was like, "Oh, wow, thank you," because that never happens to me. It never happens to me. You see what I mean? So when it happens, it's a big deal. Okay, but the difference is what I didn't do is I don't go up to women and go like, hey, miss, can you help me with something, please? Am I gorgeous? Do you really just tell me the truth? Do you think I'm gorgeous? I am? Oh, well, you're just saying that. Oh, no, you're just saying that. No, tell me the truth. Don't lie to me, please. You don't know me. Don't lie to me. I really need to know. Am I gorgeous or not? Miss, she doesn't think I'm gorgeous. Do you think I'm gorgeous? Do you know? You don't understand. They told me I was ugly. You see what I mean? This is bullshit. We don't live like this. Okay, that's not the way we think. But the men on this show, this is the way they act. This is the way they think. This is what they need. They need somebody to tell them how good they are. Okay, they're begging for it. They're begging for it. Please validate me. Please tell me I matter. Please tell me I'm important. Please tell me. You see what I mean? And that's just not realistic. Yes, I know there's a few guys out there like that. I get it. But for most of us, we grow up knowing that we're never going to get that. Okay? We're never going to get that. Okay? People aren't attracted to men that keep seeking validation from women. Okay? It's very unattractive. Women don't want to date guys where they always have to tell him, no, you're good. You're really good. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. We don't need that. Okay? Women want to be with a man, okay, that can do that for them when they feel that way. Okay? And that's realistic. That's more realistic. Okay? It has nothing to do with which one's got more self-confident. Okay? Nobody is 100% self-confident all the time. Okay? But men, we're taught to deal with it. Deal with our insecurities by doing something. Now, there's been a shortage of that lately because, let's face it, man, the rise of single moms is just ridiculous, especially in this country. No other country has this many single moms as ours does, okay? So boys are growing up without father figures, okay? So that does suck, okay? But it's just like biology. It's just women tend to be more emotional, okay? Because women are the ones that create the babies in them. They're the ones that have to take care of the baby. Or else who's going to fucking bring home who's going to bring home the bacon? Who's going to bring home the resources? You see what I mean? And despite the fact that we're in a more evolved time, okay, our instinct, our human nature hasn't changed. You see what I mean? Men still want to be strong. They still want to be leaders. Despite all the crap that TV shows and movies have been telling you for the past 10, 15 years, men still want to be in charge. They still want to be leaders, okay? We have these aggressive instincts, okay, that we want to put to use positively. We want to protect our women and children. We want to provide for them. We want to raise them. We want to teach our sons how to be men, okay? We want to teach our daughters how to be women. We want to do that. We want to contribute to these things, okay? But shows like this, okay, and it's like I said, it's not just this show, it's most shows right now, okay? They're telling you the opposite. They're telling you all you need is your mom, and that your mom, okay, is the masculine figure. Okay, because if you notice on this show, the women never solicit for affirmations from anybody. They just get them. Okay, now I mentioned this in the last video, okay, and I've said this in a couple of videos actually, okay, about how the women are constantly being praised. They're constantly being told how great they are, how much of a boss bitch they are, how beautiful they are, okay, how smart they are, how successful they are, how rich they are, how charming they are, how much of a bigger cock they have than any man on the show, okay, how popular they are, how their style is so perfect, what a great salesperson they are, what a great, you see what I mean? These women are constantly being affirmed by many characters every single episode. The men don't get any of that. The women never compliment the men on the show unless the guy's asking for a compliment. Please tell me I'm cool. Come on, do you think I'm cool? Please tell me. You see what I mean? Also, the women on the show never, ever apologize to their men. They never apologize for anything because nothing's ever their fault. You see what I mean? Like if a woman goes out and she's got a husband and she's got kids at home, but she decides to go out drinking with her younger girlfriends up until like 6, 7 in the morning. When she gets home, okay, she's not going to apologize to her husband or her children. Hey, I'm sorry I was out late. I got carried away. I drank too much, blah, blah, blah. It was very irresponsible of me. I should have called you. I should have told you I was okay, Instead of that, no. It's like, well, you don't understand what I'm going through. I need nights like this, okay? I need to go out there, okay? You cannot tell me you cannot keep me locked up in this house. I am not your property, okay? If I want to go out my girl, I'm going to go out my girlfriends, okay? You're the one that needs to do better. You see what I mean? That's what happens. Okay, men have no say, not even in their own fucking families. You see what I mean? And that just makes no sense. That's just ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, okay, if I'm married and I've got kids, okay, and I'm the one who's working all day to provide for the whole fucking family, okay, while she works her part-time 30 grand a year job, okay, you better fucking believe I'm gonna have some fucking say on what goes on in my own fucking house. Okay, that's gonna fucking happen. That is just gonna happen. Okay? Because I'm not gonna be in a family that wouldn't allow, I'm not gonna be with a woman that wouldn't allow me to voice my own opinions. You see what I mean? It's ridiculous. Okay? It is fucking ridiculous. If you want to switch over, fine. You bring home the bacon and I'll fucking stay home. I'll get the part-time 30 grand a year job. Okay? But what would happen is I'd be a laughing stock. Okay? All right, and you would have to deal with the stress of paying the mortgage, the stress of paying the property taxes. You're gonna have to deal with the stress of the allowance to make sure all of us have the food that we want. Okay, you're gonna have to plan the vacations because you're gonna pay for the vacations. You're gonna provide me with an allowance so I can buy the wardrobe that I want to wear. Okay, you see what I mean? That's what's gonna happen. What woman wants to do that? You see what I mean? See what happens when it gets reversed? All of a sudden, it's like it's not very attractive, is it? Okay. But yet when we are in that position, all of a sudden, we've got everything. It's not fair. That's a load of crap, and you know it. And you know it. But you're never going to learn that from watching these shows. That's why you got my channel here to tell you. That's why I'm here. That's why you got Diego Knows. So I can tell you the truth behind this feminist crap. Okay, I wouldn't even call this feminist. This is more LGBTQ than it is fucking feminist, to be honest with you. This is more Black Lives Matter than it is feminism, okay? It really is, okay? There's nothing but misandry. That's all this show is, hating men, unless you're gay. If you're gay, you get treated with respect because that's homophobic if you're not. If you're not respectful, if you don't pander to the gay community on the show, then you are homophobic or transphobic or whatever, okay? But if you're a straight man or straight white man, straight white Christian man, forget about it. Forget about it. You're going to be stomped on by every single character on the show, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your kids, okay, whether it's the women that date you, whatever the hell it is, okay, you will be treated like absolute crap by every single person there. You'll be depicted as a moron. You'll be depicted as a wimp, okay, or you'll be depicted as a jerk. Okay, that's it. Those are the only options if you're a straight white guy on this show. Those are the only options for you. Okay, all right. Now, speaking of that, okay, this here, okay, very important. This here, okay, that is my Rumble. Okay, and you really need to go onto my Rumble over there. Okay, that's my Rumble right there. Okay. Oh no, actually, sorry, my bad. That's my Rumble. That's my Rumble right there. Diego Knows. Someone took Diego Knows on Rumble. Can you believe that? Someone else already has my name. It's weird. Anyway, Diego de la Vega Knows. Okay, that's my Rumble. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, this actually is my X. Okay, that's my X if you want to follow me on X. Okay, but this is my Rumble. Okay, X and Rumble. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that is because YouTube doesn't like me very much. Okay, they've already stricken down one of my videos. Okay, not for my they didn't like my thumbnail. Okay, so which I don't think I've ever posted anything that was I never displayed nudity or anything like that. But anyway, so yeah, so they don't like my videos, and we know why they don't like my videos. You know damn well why. Where is YouTube? Where is YouTube? It's in Silicon Valley. Where is Silicon Valley? It's in San Francisco. Where is San Francisco? It's in California. Okay, that should tell you everything you need to know about the people that work at YouTube and what they want to be on YouTube. You see what I mean? Okay. So I know they don't like me. Of course they don't. Okay, but I'm small fry. I'm nothing. There's a lot bigger YouTube channels than me. Okay, so I know, and I'm not even monetized. Okay, I do this for fun. Okay, but obviously they don't like me. All right, so if I ever post a video, okay, and you know damn well it's coming and it doesn't show up, more than likely YouTube took it down. Okay, but you can still watch it on Rumble because Rumble doesn't care. Okay, they will let me air whatever. Okay, so if you ever notice that, just keep that in mind. Okay, just go on to Rumble and watch it there. Okay, because they'll leave it on. They'll leave it on. YouTube not so much. Okay, because YouTube is all about censorship. We know this. Okay, they only want to promote people that speak the narrative that they want you to speak. Okay, and they're pretty pissed off right now because so much of the country did not vote for their candidate. So they're really upset with that. They're upset with a lot of people. Because the person they wanted in charge didn't make it. All right. Now let's actually talk about this video here. I am Diego. I give you a straight man's point of view, whether you like it or not. Okay, if you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, get the fuck out right now. I am not going to censor myself for you. I'm here to tell you the truth, and you're going to get it straight up, baby, with no lube. There's no lube here. Okay, but the real question you got to ask yourself, is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because I know damn well you cannot. You've never been able to handle it, ever. Well, you're going to now, because now you have no choice. All right. Just like crap, season 3, episode 4. Yeah, wow, season 3. Can you believe this? Nobody's watching this show. Okay, they hate watching it. Okay, even the characters on this show talk about hate watching this show. Okay, so it's pretty obvious. All right. Even me, I'm hate watching it, okay? The name of this episode is called Apples to Apples, okay? It makes no sense. We'll figure out later on why they say that, okay? So it starts off with Carrie. Carrie wakes up, okay, in Aiden's guest house. Remember, she came to Virginia with Seema, and then Seema split after she blew out the tires in the car because she drove over some spikes, even though the sign was right there. So Seema decides to immediately leave Virginia and go back to New York. So it's pointless for her to go with Carrie to Virginia. The only reason she was there, okay, the only reason she went with Carrie to Virginia was so that Carrie could have someone to talk to so they could spout off dialogue, okay, an exposition about what's happening in their lives. So they can both bitch about their lives. Honestly, they don't care about each other at all, okay, they really don't. All Seema's there to do for Carrie is to listen to her problems. Seema will immediately change the subject and start telling Carrie her problems. And then Carrie will immediately change the subject and start telling Seema her problems again, okay? You see, it's a pity party. It's a circle jerk. That's all it is, with a lot of fast food involved, okay? So that's going on. So, of course, Seema's gone now. All right, and Carrie is in Virginia, but because they're successful, strong boss bitches, they both forgot that they left their luggage in the rental car, and they didn't realize until after the car got towed away. So now Carrie's stuck in Virginia with no toiletries, no extra clothes, no nothing. Aiden arrives, drives her to his farmhouse, where she gets to meet his children, two of his children, Homer and Wyatt. We've heard a lot about Wyatt, haven't we? We've heard a lot about Wyatt, okay? He's this kid, this spoiled brat kid. He's the youngest one. I guess he suffers from ADHD, okay? So he's always temperamental. He's always complaining. He's always in a bad mood. He always has mood swings, okay? He's very rude to everybody. I mean, he's just, he's a punk. He is a punk, all right? And I know he's got a problem, okay? This kid he's suicidal as well. Okay, he acts out in anger. He damages things. He crashed a car. He got drunk, even though he's 14, 16 years old, 15 years, something like that. He got drunk and crashed his car. Why? Because his dad, Aiden, went to go visit Carrie. Okay, so now Aiden has to stay in the farmhouse and take care of two of his sons, because one of them is already 21. He's already out of the house. Okay, his two sons, Homer and Wyatt. He has to take care of them by himself because his ex-wife, their mother, is too busy globetrotting around the world with her big dick boyfriend, okay, who loves to wear pink, instead of taking care of her children. Okay, that's more important. See, she's a boss bitch too, get it? So, of course, it's the man that has to stay home and take care of the kids. Okay, because that's the only thing that's appropriate, okay, on this show. All right, so that's what's going on here. He's taking care of the kids. And Carrie shows up there, and Wyatt is just being a total jerk. Carrie wakes up. Obviously, she's still wearing the same clothes from yesterday because she has no change of clothes. She's very self-conscious about the way that she smells. She hates animals. Okay, she hates nature. We already knew that back in Sex and the City. She went to his house in Virginia for one episode, okay, on Sex and the City, and she hated it. She had to come back, and she hated it so much that she invited Big. Yes, Big, the guy that she was cheating on Aiden with. She invited him to come visit her and have a chat in his car out in the woods. Okay, that's how bored she was with the country, that she needed to bring her New York side piece to the country just so she could have somebody to talk to and do more with. All right. And Aiden, being a limp dick soy boy that he is, of course he's okay with it. Of course he is. In fact, he became friends with Big after that. They were actually, they were hanging out, playing basketball together, talking about, recipes and stuff and cookies and, and summer dresses and shit like that. And then they went around the corner and fucked each other in the ass. Anyway, that was later. Okay, so Carrie's there. She's in the farmhouse, whatever. The kids are painting. Why would you have your sons painting a house when your guest, okay, who's a woman, okay, is actually asleep in that house at that time? It makes no sense. He's screaming at it. Why? That's not the way you paint. You got to move to the, you're too far on the left. Of course, he's screaming. So, of course, that wakes up Carrie. And what does she wake up to? She wakes up to this fucking 15-year-old kid peeking into her through the window, okay, while she's laying in bed. All right, so that's kind of creepy. It's really stupid. Anyway, so we meet Wyatt and we meet Homer. Homer's actually cool. He's older than Wyatt. He's actually nice to Carrie. He seems very fun-loving, very outgoing personality. That kind of thing. He seems okay. But Wyatt's the one who's a Debbie Downer, who's just a bitch. honestly. And I'm not, that's not a crack on him, really. Okay, this guy has mental issues. He has ADHD. I understand a lot about that. Okay, there's people in my family who have that. I get it. Okay, but this kid is suicidal and he's dangerous. Okay, if he cannot be left alone by himself without risk of him committing suicide, then he needs to be institutionalized. He needs to be in a place where people can watch him 24/7. Okay, I'm not talking about white rooms with straitjackets. I mean, there's lots of psychiatric places. Okay, where they have like outdoor activities. You get to wear normal clothes. You know, they don't lock you up in the room or anything like that. Okay, but they watch out for you. Okay, you get to see a psychiatrist daily. You know, you get your medication. Whatever, because people like that need to be in a controlled environment. You see what I mean? Okay, they can't just be left by themselves out in the woods, okay, in the middle of nowhere, an hour away from civilization. Okay, that's not where you want to put a kid with mental health issues, especially if he's suicidal and dangerous to himself and other people. You see what I mean? Okay, I mean, the kid has got violent issues. Okay, this guy likes to break things. He likes to throw things. He throws tantrums. Okay, this is not a kid that needs to be left alone or needs to be watched over 24/7 by his dad and his brother and nobody else. This guy needs professional help, and I say that with love. Okay, I'm not saying that you know there aren't people like this in the world. They deserve less respect. No, they most certainly do deserve respect, just like you and I do. Okay, but there's a place for people like that. Okay, and Aiden is. I mean, what does he know how to do? He knows how to accept girlfriends cheating on him, wives cheating on him, and he knows how to make furniture. Okay, he is not equipped. He's not qualified to take care of a child with serious mental health issues. Okay, this kid needs to be on Adderall. Okay, he needs to be on Adderall. All right, but you know, Aiden doesn't want to give it to him because he doesn't want his son to become a drug addict. This is ridiculous. This kid needs it. He needs those drugs. Okay, otherwise he's going to try to kill himself. Otherwise he's going to act the way that he's been acting. So Carrie has not gotten her luggage back from the rental car. She left it in. Wyatt gives her a rude hello. Like I said, he doesn't like her at all. Okay, Carrie is very self-conscious about the way that she smells. She's asking for deodorant, stuff like that, you know. Anyway, next scene, Miranda wakes up. Okay, and Carrie's cat. No, I don't remember the name of Carrie's cat. Miranda is house sitting Carrie's a huge, expensive, empty house. No furniture, no paintings on the wall, no nothing. Okay, she bought this house 2 years ago and she has not furnished it. Okay, she's only tried to buy one table. Okay, and she ended up not buying it because when she asked Aiden about it, he gave her a thumbs down emoji. Okay, and that's it. That's the only thing she's done to try to furnish the place is to buy this perfect table. But Aiden didn't like it, so she didn't buy it. And of course, she's going to blame him for that. Okay, so yeah, that's it for Miranda. She's just there taking care of Carrie's pussy. Get it? All right. Next scene, Herbert. Herbert, okay, that's Lisa Todd Wexley's husband. He's also a limp soy boy beta male. Okay, he's running for comptroller for the city of New York. Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, he's complaining to Lisa about her talking in her sleep. Okay, now this guy has a very important job. He pays all the bills in their luxury apartment. He pays for the private school that their children go to. Okay, he has a very high-paying job. He graduated Harvard, blah, blah, blah. All right? His wife is a pretentious, self-important, egotistical, narcissistic bitch who talks down to him, insults him all the time, makes fun of him, okay, tells him what a horrible job he's doing as a father, as a husband, as a provider, all the damn time. He's just like, damn it, I just can't do anything right. Like that, okay? Like the limp dick soy boy that he is. Anyway, he does complain to Lisa about her talking in her sleep in the morning, okay? Because he's like, you know what? I haven't gotten any sleep in 3 days. You keep talking in your sleep, blah, 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 and I've got a lot of work to do. I got to get up early, I got a full day. I'm running for city comptroller. I got interviews. I got Zoom calls, and I can't really do my best, okay, if I'm not getting any sleep. So he complains to her about her sleeping, okay? And she's like, really? Well, what am I saying? He's like, I don't know. You're just talking. It's keeping me out. He's like, oh, well, it's because I have to hire an editor because Grace, my lesbian black woman editor, she quit on me and now I have to hire a new one. And it's hard for me to find a decision to hire a new one, okay? So until I do, okay, I'm going to keep talking in my sleep and you're just going to have to put up with it. Basically, that's what happens, okay? So that's going on here, okay? Keeping him awake, okay? because she can't make a decision on who to hire for her stupid documentary on famous historical black lesbian women. Okay, that she's been working on for 9 years and still has not finished producing. Okay, so anyway, yeah, for no pay either. Okay, so that's going on here. Next scene, we're at Charlotte's house. Everybody is there, okay, at the breakfast table, but nobody's actually talking to each other. They're all on their cell phones, their iPads. Okay. Okay, at the breakfast table, Harry announces that his dad, well, we find out that his dad is actually visiting them right now. His dad, Morris Goldenblatt, okay? He's visiting them right now, okay? And he wants dinner at 5 o'clock. Well, Charlotte's like, 5 o'clock, that's not dinner, that's lunch. Okay, because Charlotte doesn't want to make dinner that early, okay? Even though her father-in-law is visiting them. All right, that's too early for Charlotte. And of course, there's Rock there. Of course, she's lecturing her dad about stupid stuff, whatever it is. It's going to be something about LGBTQ rights or the environment or, whatever. Okay, whatever the hell she wants to berate her parents on and lecture them about, that she does. She takes every opportunity to do that. She has no fucking character. She has no personality. Her entire character is based on educating her parents, and that also includes the audience on LGBTQ terminology, on immigrant rights, on Black Lives Matter, on all this kind of crap. Okay, Juneteenth, all that kind of crap. That's what she's there to do. She's there to be the actual activist. Okay, the one who's not pretending to be a normal person. Okay, the one who's actually an activist, and she's what do you call it? She's transgender herself. Okay, non-binary bullshit. Okay, so. Yeah, that's who she is on the show. Okay, that's her job. Okay, so she's got to educate her dad on that. Okay, and her mom. Okay, so Rock lectures her dad about stupid shit. Lily tells her parents that she has invited Diego. Ooh, not Diego. Who's that? That's the no, it's not me. It's not me. Although I think they're trying to do this to me. Honestly, I think they are. I think they're trying to make fun of me with this character. To be honest with you, I think they are. No, I don't do ballet. No, none of that crap, okay? But I'm sure someone over there saw one of my videos and decided, oh, here, we're going to teach him a lesson. And they wrote this character, okay, who's clearly gay. There's nothing straight about him at all. He's not fooling anybody. He's a ballet dancer, okay? He's got a camel toe when he wears his tights. But that turns on, Lily's turned on by gay men. All right. And so she, she's already slept with 17 different guys since she lost her virginity last season. Okay. But right now it's Diego's turn, and he clearly would rather, be with men. Okay. But she has invited Diego to dinner with the family. Okay. So obviously that's important to her. Okay. To visit. Okay. And they call their grandpa Papa. Everyone calls him Pop Pop. Okay, which is fine. I used to call my grandfather Polo because he didn't like to be called grandfather. He thought he was 19 years old. That's another story. But that's what they call their grandfather. Okay, Pop Pop. All right. So Pop Pop is going to be having dinner there with the family, and Diego's going to be there at the dinner table as well. Okay, next scene. Carrie has breakfast with Aiden's sons. Okay, Homer and Wyatt. And he wants Carrie to stay till Wednesday. He asked her to stay till Wednesday for his son's 21st birthday party that they're going to have. His son is going to be coming with his ex-wife, Kathy, the one that told Carrie to bring the Adderall to Virginia. And I guess Kathy is going to bring her boyfriend. And by boyfriend, I mean closeted homosexual guy. All right. Anyway, because that's what all the men are on the show. Okay. And but we don't even know what day it is right now. So how do we know when Wednesday is? Is that tomorrow? Is that in a couple of days? Is that next week? We don't know. Okay. The show doesn't tell us what day it is. Okay. Okay. So, and one thing I noticed about Aiden when he's hanging out with his sons, he shows way too much affection towards them. I get it. He loves them. I'm a father myself. I have a little boy as well, but the way he's hugging, my little boy, like that, it's just kind of creepy about that, Carrie tells Aiden she wants to go to Target to get some clothes because she doesn't have any other clothes. While she's wearing Homer's clothes, like I said, because she has no clothes herself. And Aiden says I'll give you a ride, but it's an hour away. Okay. So Wyatt starts being a bitch about painting. He's like, I'm not going to be painting if you're not here. Because that's what Aiden has his sons doing. He has them painting the guest house, despite the fact that Carrie was sleeping in there. Okay? Well, I'm not painting if you're not going to be your dad. That kind of thing, right? She said, so she decides to, hey, is there like a store nearby where I can buy a dress or something? And they're like, yeah, there's one about a mile away. Well, she offers to walk over there because a mile's out there. He's like, you can't. It rained the other night. Like the roads are all muddy now. You can't walk over there. You know. So Homer suggests that she takes the ATV, which is a little terrain vehicle. You know what I'm talking about. All right. And so he shows her how to ride that thing. She rides it like at 5 miles an hour with a helmet on, and she rides it over to I guess wherever this sister wives dress shop is. Okay, so she goes off on that. Okay, and Aiden, of course, being a fucking nerd like he is, he goes, "You're as hot as a gas station calendar, girl." Oh, really? What month? Oh. Yeah, that's stupid ass dad joke, sex humor. Okay, he said, "You got a license to thrill." Yeah. That's just stupid. No. Okay, ladies, if your boyfriends talk to you this way, dump them. Okay, this is ridiculous. I've never talked to a woman this way. I've made jokes with women, plenty of playful, sexy jokes like this. Okay, but not like this. Okay, it's just stupid. Oh my! It's cringe just listening to it. We're listening to two people in their 60s making stupid ass little sexy one-liners like this. It's just ridiculous. There's nothing sexy about it. Okay. Okay, and so that's going on here. And he admits to Carrie that the guest house does not need to be painted. The reason he has Wyatt painting the guest house with Homer is because he needs to keep his mind busy. Okay, otherwise he's gonna go back to his video games, you know, and stay in his head. Okay, and he doesn't want Wyatt to stay in his head because that's when he starts acting like a bitch. All right, you know, so that's why. Okay, and I'm telling you right now, this kid, man, I feel sorry for him. I know he's not doing this on purpose. It's just his condition. He needs to be in a hospital. Okay, he needs to be in a place, or he needs to be in some sort of a commune, some sort of psychiatric therapy commune. You know, maybe you can get him on the weekends or something like that, because he needs to be supervised. Okay, not by his dad, not by a guy who has no qualifications to treat a person with ADHD, but he needs to be with like professionals. Okay, because he's a danger to himself. He's a danger to the people around him. Okay, so yeah, and I'm saying that with love, but that's the truth. That's what he needs. Okay. Now the next scene over here is Lisa. Lisa's assistant tells her that the guy that Marion Odin is here to interview for the position of editor of her bullshit Black History Month Black Lesbian Pioneers documentary. Okay, he assumed that Marion Odin was a woman because apparently there's no picture of him on IMDb. Okay, but no, it's not. It's actually a man. Okay, well, now she's all upset because she does not want to hire a man. Why? Because everybody knows that women are better than men at everything. Okay, it's women that built society, not men. It's women that won the wars, not men. It's women that invented all the most important scientific devices of the 21st century, not men. Okay, it's women who have traditionally provided and protected their families, not men. Okay, and though that's why she needs a woman. Okay. To come in here, okay, and tell Lisa to pay for all of her fucking shit, and then complain about it. Okay, so only a woman can understand the problems that black lesbian pioneers face. So only a woman has the sensibility to work on a documentary, you know, that's supposed to take a year and make it last for 9 years and it's still not done. Only a woman can provide that sort of service. Okay, that sort of ingenuity, okay, that talent, okay, so yeah, that's why she's not gonna hire a man, because she deep down inside she fucking hates men, just like every other woman on the show. They hate men, just like the people that make this show. They hate men. I mean, look at Samantha Irby. Look at one of the writers of the show. Okay, let's look at that beautiful mug of hers. Okay, that should tell you everything you need to know about what this show thinks about men. And look at Michael Patrick Queen. Okay, the showrunner for this show. Okay, just look at that guy. Okay, how many straight boys used to beat the crap out of him every day in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade? Okay, I'm sure a lot of straight guys used to beat the crap out of him over and over again and call him names. okay, and call him gay slurs and stuff like that. All right, so I'm pretty sure he has no love for straight guys either. Okay, and that's why the show has to suffer for it. Okay, then you've also got women out there that just hate men because they try to get with guys that are out of their league. They end up having sex with them, and the guy never calls them again. So they feel instead of it being their fault, it's the man's fault. Okay, so you got a lot of jilted women, and Sex and the City was just, that was their go-to show. Okay, so they could express all their misandry. Okay, I have a place for it to go. You see what I mean? Okay, and that's what this show is. It's nothing but misandry. Okay, it's all it is. All right, anyway, and I'm done for now, but I'll be back to continue my review of And Just Like Crap. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.